Well, we haven't really started a discussion, so you can start. Okay. So, yeah, I read the I Want a Wife by Judy Brady. Was that her name? Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, cool. And then the other one, The Turkeys in the Kitchen.
Yeah, I read two because I didn't know about the one breasted woman one. I didn't really understand how that kind of fit in with the topic. But I also read the I Want a Wife, and then I read the About Men in the book. What I found interesting about the I Want a Wife one was while reading it, it was kind of hard to remember that it was a woman speaking instead of a man.
Yeah.
Because the way people, like, I guess the word taught growing up, those are kind of the womanly duties, and I guess she was talking about how what a wife does according to society, even though that's not exactly always true.
Yeah.
Women want the same thing men get from their wives.
I think it's just like they don't want to do that anymore because they have to put up with all the work that she was describing, like cleaning the house and taking care of the kids, and she actually wants to like do something with her life, like get an education, get a job.
Yeah, like, I'm gonna reference the book here. Like, she doesn't want to work. Like, Logan doesn't want to work. He tries to get Jane to work, and so does Joe, and she would rather enjoy life, she says, and it kind of breaks down both of her marriages because she doesn't want to.
Jeez,
She wants it handed to her. She doesn't want to have to work for it.
I think they mainly want equality socially and workforce-wise. Like, she wants not a husband who will do what a wife is supposed to do or what we've assigned them to do. She wants to be equal.
I think all these like stereotypes and stuff just started because that's how it was,
For so long.
Yeah, because the men were strong, so like it even goes back to when they first came over, like the men would build the houses and go hunt and women would stay home with the kids. And so even though like our society's changing, then that's kind of not changing as fast as people want it to, I guess.
Yeah, our view and classification of gender roles hasn't evolved like our society has. Because now we don't have to protect our families and go out and kill animals and act like savages.
Well, that's still just the times changing. But if you look at things like in this article with the About Men, I think it was a woman. Yeah, Gretel. I think that's a woman's name. She was talking about how, I think she was from, I think it was Wyoming. Yeah, it was Wyoming, with the cowboys and stuff, and how men were defined by how tough they were. Like, being a cowboy to do everything for the animals, to endure pain and push through with all the strength you can muster. It was about like physical toughness and mental toughness, and they would all laugh it off if like someone got hurt or if they were hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was just like I said, flesh wound or scratches, or even if it was just like a giant gash.
Yeah.
Like there was one point where she was talking about cowboys saving their animals, like the horse nearly drowned, and the cowboy saved the horse because that's his job, apparently.
Mm-hmm. But like in that time, you'd never see a woman like going in to save a horse.
And
it was just the time.
And here is they were talking about with the women. She was talking about how they would just tip their hats to the ladies, and there was a definitive divide between the men and the women because women had to a new set of books together at this time here.
Mm-hmm.
That was a long time ago when the stereotypes and the roles were still strictly separated and not like they are today.
Actually, I think this is about 1914.
It's still.
Yeah, it's still pretty far back. What about the other men ones that you guys read?
The one with the turkey dinners or something?
Turkeys in the Kitchen.
Yeah.
It basically talks. It's sort of like men they're not cowboys anymore, but they're helping wives with stuff, but they're still incompetent. Well, this man was who was trying to help his wife cook for Thanksgiving, and he just can't really do much. He sort of blames it on the roles we've had for so long. He didn't learn how to cook or sew or clean. He learned how to do other stuff, fix stuff, but she didn't learn to do that. But that's just the gender roles.
Yeah. Which I think goes like so far because like for example in my house, my dad does all the cooking. You know, my mom hardly ever makes dinner, but that's just how like he was raised because he was raised to be able to cook and like provide for his family.
Anything to add to that, Evan? Did you read that one or did you read it?
Yeah, I read that one. I feel like they seem to be like more rough and blunt objects. They can't do things that are more gentle and require more higher thinking. It's kind of like hunt, eat,
I do like
kind
eating.
of, and so they don't really excel at things like taking care of children and fixing dinner and stuff because they've been set in that role of they have to provide protection and food and money, and the women have to organize all that within the household. So, in a traditional sense.
He uses humor to show that too. Just the whole thing is kind of funny. His wife
Yeah,
out showing
it's
him
kind
in the kitchen.
of making fun of it, but
Like, you're a little child, go sit and do this.
I think that the I Want a Wife one was it had a lot of humor. Oh, it had hints of humor to it. You could kind of tell she was being humorous about it. It was like the way she was talking was about a wife that you would see maybe in like 19th, 20th century. Even though this wasn't, I think that one was written in the 1990s. But like appealing to the sexual desires and needs of the husband only, and the husband's allowed to, or not the husband, because she was saying she wanted that, being able to go around, even while the wife is being loyal, the wife is taking care of everything, while she would just do whatever she wanted. I think she was calling for a more balanced role when she was saying this. She wants, because I guess in her life now she did a lot of that stuff, or that was the role that was set to her, and she wants more balance between it because she wants someone else to take some of those roles away from her, so she's not dying and she has some of her own freedom.
So like we've seen like how a lot of gender stereotypes have kind of changed. Like the men are becoming, you know, more sensitive people rather than just going out and hunting all the time. But like, do you think that I don't know, like men seeing women as sexual objects, do you think that has changed at all? Because I know we see that in Their Eyes Were Watching God, which was like written for a while ago, but
I think to some extent it is still present, but nowadays it seems like women have a lot more respect to them as we start to move towards equality and bringing ourselves to be equal, not better than the men.
One gender is superior over the other, because it wasn't one of the essays that was on the list, but it was Women's Brains. It was all about, it was a French social psychologist. His name is Le Baron, I think, or something. He measured, basically, he was trying to prove that men were superior over the other, and there was another female who was trying to prove that females were superior over the other, just based on brain size and how tall you are, how far you can throw something, just really honestly stupid stuff that doesn't matter. And basically what the guy who wrote it, Jacob, he's just saying that's really stupid and that it's not about that. It's everyone, there's no superiority to one gender or the other.
Okay, my recording stopped.
Mine's still going, but I guess I don't have, oh, there it goes.
So should we save
I'm rocking
this
out
and
at 20 seconds.
should we save this and